What's up everyone, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and these are the 30 best features of Honor 7X along with some important tips and tricks. First in the list is the full view display. The best and the most noticeable feature of the Honor 7X is its display. It has a massive 5.93-inch display with Full HD Plus resolution in 18:9 aspect ratio. It has smaller bezels at the top and bottom. Despite having a bigger screen, it has the same form factor as Mi A1, which comes with a 5.5-inch display. Earlier while watching videos, there were two black bars on either side, but with the latest YouTube app, we can do a pin gesture to zoom in. So now it feels even more immersive to watch videos on YouTube. Now the next best thing about this phone are the cameras. First we have the portrait mode for the front and rear cameras. On the rear this phone has dual camera setup, so it's no surprise there's a portrait mode for it. But unlike Honor 9i, Honor 7X uses a single camera to offer portrait mode and it works pretty well. These are some sample shots taken in portrait mode using the front and rear cameras. Obviously it's not perfect, but does a pretty good job. Next we have a wide aperture mode, where we can increase the aperture all the way up to 16. Once again it uses the dual camera setup over here, and it isn't perfect. Next we have the moving picture mode, where the phone records few seconds as video every time you take a picture, and we can preview it from the gallery in this way. Next we have Pro Video Recording. Most of the phones offer manual or professional mode for the camera, but rarely phones offer you a pro mode for video recording. This phone lacks optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization, so the footage is very shaky, but the footage quality is good. To make it even better, this phone has Pro Video Recording, where we can change the focus point, color balance, exposure and focus type. For people who record a lot of videos, this will be a super handy feature. Now the next best thing about this phone is the unibody metal design. This phone is currently the cheapest phone in the Indian market to come with a complete unibody metal design for as low as 13,000 rupees. Especially the blue color looks great and it hides the smudges pretty well. Next, it has a very unique feature called Wi-Fi bridge, where you can share your existing Wi-Fi connection to multiple devices. Your phone will act like a hotspot using the current Wi-Fi connection. This will be a super useful feature if you travel a lot and visit places with limited Wi-Fi access like hotels. Now the next best feature on this phone is App Twin. It is the same feature called as Dual Apps on Xiaomi phones with limited functionality. Using this feature, you can use 2 WhatsApp accounts and 2 Facebook accounts on the same phone. As of now, you can use it only with a limited number of social media apps. Next, we have a lot of fingerprint gestures. First, we can take pictures using the fingerprint scanner. Once you enable this toggle, you can take pictures using the fingerprint scanner on the stock camera application. Unlike other phones, you need to touch and hold the fingerprint scanner to take a picture. You can touch it with any finger and it still works. It is a super handy feature while taking selfies. We have another fingerprint gesture where we can swipe down on the fingerprint scanner to bring down the notification bar. This was a very unique feature on Honor phones until other brands copied it. Next, we can browse pictures using the fingerprint scanner. Once you enable this toggle, we can use the fingerprint scanner to switch between the next and previous images in the default gallery app by swiping left or right on the fingerprint scanner. Next, we can answer calls using the fingerprint scanner once you enable this toggle. Here's a quick preview. Next, we can even stop the alarms using the fingerprint scanner once you enable this toggle. Next, we have long screenshots. To take a normal screenshot on this phone, you can press volume down and power button both at the same time and it will take a screenshot. For some reason, if you are not able to do that, we have a quick shortcut in the notification toggles. Simply click on screenshot to take a screenshot. So once you take a screenshot, you have this option at the bottom to take a long screenshot. So once you click it, it will scroll through the page and take a long screenshot. Next, we have HISTEN sound enhancement. This phone doesn't come with a dedicated DAC or an amplifier, but comes with a software-based sound enhancement. We have the 3D surround sound option along with an equalizer settings to improve the audio experience on the headset. Next, we have split screen mode. Starting with Nougat, almost all the phones have the feature to open 2 applications side by side. Just press and hold the recent apps button to open the current application in the top window, and then you can select the secondary application. On Honor 7X, we also have a button which gives you the option to swap these apps and even close one of them. Currently, this feature is missing on Honor 9i. We can only close it. Next, we have some motion gestures. First is double tap to wake and sleep. Just enable this toggle and when your display is locked, you can double tap it to wake it up and double tap it once again to send it back to sleep. Next, we have flip to mute. Once you enable this toggle, you can flip your phone to mute incoming calls, alarms and timer. This is a quick preview. Next we have ultra power saving mode, and we can access it directly from the toggles. Once you enable it, apart from a selected few applications, all the applications running in the background will be killed and stopped from running in the background. Because of that, battery life will increase significantly. Unlike other phones, on this phone, we can choose any app to be used in this mode, which is a great thing. Next we have the low resolution mode. If you want to further improve the battery life, you can reduce the screen resolution by enabling this toggle. Depending upon the work you do, screen resolution will change automatically and improve battery life. Next we have one-handed mode. This phone, despite of having a bigger screen, comfortably fits in your hand. But that doesn't mean it's a single-handed phone. So to make our life easy, we have this one-handed mode. Once you enable it, you can swipe on the navigation bar left or right from the center to enable it. To start one-handed mode, screen size will shrink and you can access anything with a single hand or a finger. Next we have pocket mode. On this phone it's called something else, but the concept is the same. When you enable it, touch doesn't work when your phone is in your pocket, so there won't be any accidental touches. Next we have schedule power on and power off. Using these settings we can schedule your phone to automatically turn on and turn off at a specific time. Next we have mirror cast. Using this feature we can cast the screen of your phone to a TV or a projector that supports mirror cast, or even to a Chromecast over Wi-Fi. Next we have a floating dock. In the Smart Assistant section, we have a floating dock or a floating bubble. Just like on iPhone, we have navigation shortcuts and the shortcut to lock your phone and clear the RAM. As this is a huge phone, this bubble might come in handy, but I prefer Pi control over this. Next we have the step count. Once you enable this toggle, your phone will count the number of steps you take and display it on the lock screen. Obviously you need to have your phone on your body for it to count. You can also use the health app to see daily stats and the number of calories burnt. Next we have some additional features in Phone Manager, like we can block internet access to apps or Wi-Fi and mobile data. We can block calls and messages by listing the contact details in this page. We can also choose to block all unknown numbers or all strangers that usually call over internet. We can also block messages based on keywords or a pattern, which I think is a great feature. We can also clear RAM, clean up space, do a virus scan, change permissions, and a lot more. Next we have a mode called Eye Comfort mode in display settings. It's the same as night mode seen in the Pixel phones. Once you enable it, it puts a warm tint on the screen to protect your eyes at night. We can also enable it automatically based on time and change the intensity of the tint. Now those were all the best stuff. We also have some other stuff like theme, simple mode, option to change the font, SOS mode. We can even change the display color temperature and do a lot more stuff. Now that's it for the best features. Now let's look at some important tips and tricks. First, I'll show you how to enable split screen mode for all the applications. I've already shown you how the split screen works, but unfortunately all the apps are not supported. So to make all the apps work in this mode, first you need to go to settings, then go to about, click on the build number 7 times, then developer options will be enabled. Go back and select developer options, then go all the way to the bottom and enable force activities to be resizable. Then restart the phone. After your phone restarts, you will be able to use all applications in the split screen mode. Next, I'll show you how to scale applications. This phone comes with an 18:9 aspect ratio, and that's a new thing. Till now, all the phones had a 16:9 aspect ratio, so most of the apps do not support this screen resolution. So by default, you might see applications in this cropped mode. So to fix that, you need to go to display settings, select full screen display, and select the app that you want to make full screen. And that is all you need to do to make an app full screen. Next, for some important tips, go to notification and status bar settings. From here you can enable pulse notification light or the LED notification light. You can choose to display the network speed on the status bar. You can even choose to display the battery percentage on the status bar. Next, I'll show you how to change the default apps. Have you ever wondered how to change your default launcher, default music player or default email app on this phone? This is how you do it. Go to settings, then select apps, then select settings once again at the bottom, then select default app settings. From here you can change the default launcher, default messaging app, default camera app, default gallery app, and so on. So this is where you need to come to change your default home launcher. Next, I'll show you how to change the navigation bar layout. Just in case if you don't like the button layout on the navigation bar, you can go to settings and then select navigation key. From here you can choose any of the order. You can swap the back and recent apps button. You can also add an additional button to pull down the notification bar. Next, we have an app lock built into the system. You can access it from the Phone Manager app. Once you set a password, you can lock applications and choose to unlock them with the fingerprint scanner. By the way, once you unlock it, it will be unlocked until you lock the screen. Once you lock the screen, all the unlocked applications will be locked. Next, I'll show you how to end calls with the power button. This phone has a huge screen, so you might not be able to end calls all the time by pressing this button. So to fix that, go to Settings, Additional Settings, then Accessibility, then enable this toggle that says Power Button End Calls. Now you will be able to end calls using the power button. Next, we have some lock screen shortcuts. On the lock screen, if you swipe from the bottom edge, you get access to some quick shortcuts to open a timer, calculator, sound recorder, QR code reader, and a toggle for flash. You can also touch and swipe the camera icon to open the camera application. Next, we have Huawei Share. This is something like Share It, but only for Huawei phones. To make it work, you need to enable this from the notification toggles onto Huawei phones or to Honor phones, and you'll be able to share anything over Huawei Share. You have to simply share any file like you do on WhatsApp. It will share with other device. This is how you do it. So guys, those were the best features and the important tips and tricks for your Honor 7X. I hope I really didn't miss out on anything important. So guys, that's pretty much it for the list. If you are planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech and we will try to make it as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more cool videos on tech. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.